gentlemen, it's that time of the week. Welcome to the PD Skillz Show. Happy early 316. As always, for now, until we annoy each other, Chris Holler joining me in the studio today.
How's it going? Thanks for having me again.
Like I said, until you annoy me, I think you're here or I annoy you. Either way, it's a foreseeable future. That's why we said we have to keep our business life and our professional life separate.
I'll do my best to make this the last show. Every show that we do, I'll try my best to make it the last show that we do together.
So, I mean, we'll talk about my show a little bit, that the New Frontier from yesterday. You said you almost did Eclipse. What time did you actually see the post at they were missing a ref? Because I think it was Jim that was supposed to ref.
It was really late. Yeah, he got hurt. I don't know what happened, but Jim Conley got hurt. So I was about to, I didn't actually reach out, but I seriously considered it. My last booking was pretty last minute too, and so I figured, I could make a trip. It was a nice day here in Ontario on the weekend, not on Saturday, but on Sunday at least. Not when you went up north.
No. So on the way, okay, even though I tell you it was a 3.5 hour trip, I didn't stop and it was nonstop. It was snowing about halfway up, from Windsor to about halfway up. It fucking snowed. There was 2 tractor trailers jackknifed going the other way, one missing part of its front end, but completely fucking jackknifed trailers, and traffic backed up on the other side. And then on the way home was beautiful because none of that was there. Not even the snow from earlier in the day was there. Yeah, but on the way there was fucking brutal. So I mean, if you would have left last minute, I guess you'd have been fine, because it was clear.
Yeah,
but you'd have thought you were in for a bad time.
Yeah, it was just a last minute thing. I haven't done a show since last September, October. So just considered it. But yeah, the driving with the gas and everything, and don't want to turn into one of those videos. But man, the gas prices. But yeah, it's still
they're this high.
There's really high. There was lots of good shows though on the weekend. I was following some of the events, ACW, and then of course your show. And how did that go for you?
It was a good fucking time. I've only before going, I mean, they went all out, great lighting, because I've seen the Rock Pile a few times. It's my first time wrestling at the Rock Pile. I've seen it a few times, and by a few times I mean the back wall. So I always thought it was some hole in the door or hole in the wall, rinky dink bar, and I even drove past it a couple times when I got there because I was looking for a hole in the wall, rinky dink bar, but it's actually a big ass standalone building, pretty fucking decent sized building with a big ass parking lot. And they did it up in a way that it doesn't look like when any other wrestling promotion ran there. I don't think it's going to look like the Rock Pile because they have angles and they have lighting and everything, and the production was really fucking good. I mean, not a lot to complain about, whether it's tacky or not to say this, but I mean, I've been paid when I walked in the door before, but these motherfuckers paid everybody before show, well ahead of the show. Everything was super professional. I mean, as professional as you can get with the fucking boys in the back, because obviously we're all little assholes from time to time. But
technology has made it a lot easier, I think, for everyone in independent wrestling to network together and to help get paid easier and faster with e-transfers and other paying apps and things like that. It's such a different time, and I think it helps make things not only easier for both sides, but more fair and balanced too.
Yeah, and it's all the production, the video, everything like that. It's Savage Productions, so Savage Media, which does PWO and all that. And have you seen a lot of the people that are getting I don't know if you've seen any of the independent wrestlers that seem to be getting these really cool video packages lately,
right? That produced by them.
Yeah, with the intense fucking music and all that shit, and like the lighting and the fires and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's really cool.
I think that really shows how good of a venue Rock Pile is for not only so many like different promotions to run there, but that you can make the space look different for different
No, that's the thing
promotions.
is every other promotion I've seen, and we still like if they would have done a hard cam, the ring still had to be in the same spot. There was no
Right.
way
Yeah,
around
you
it.
don't
And
have-
when I walked into the venue, the ring wasn't there yet. There was a band performing still because I was there pretty damn early because I left preparing for the worst and got the best somehow. But yeah, then I sympathized. I was like, okay, there really is no other way to get a good camera angle, like a good hard cam and this. So I'm like, okay, now this makes a little more sense. But it was just, like I said, it was the lighting and the fact that I know the cameras were moving around. So it's going to be.
I've seen like angle shots a lot from there and stuff like that, like on the corner post, stuff like that.
It's just weird because of the table
posted
seating.
in.
That's what it is for me. The table seating is weird.
I think that's interesting. I thought
Because
that
they
was
could clear
appealing.
out in theory, they could clear out the tables and do traditional wrestling seating, but I never see any place do that. So I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, I think it gives different opportunity for
When you wanted to run the Walkerville Theater,
yeah,
that's what I like. The
having
VIP
the
booth
booths
ideas
set up
yeah.
and have your own separate service, meet and greet, have a wrestler come to your
Yeah.
table, and you know, things like that. Gives you different opportunities to market, you know, space in your show.
But yeah, it was good. A good crew on the show. I came up short against Pretty Ricky Wilde. He had a mystery
Who was
tag.
redacted?
Redacted was Cranio.
Cranio, okay.
And then Kyle bailed on me for the match. So my partner was Puff.
I thought you were going to take it on solo, but Puff.
Yeah. Puff was fun. It was good. They're normally partners. So the whole gimmick we did was we're like, they didn't really want to fight each other.
Right.
And I picked Puff because I mean, that's what I would do. I'm a stoner.
Puff.
And,
you're
yeah,
Puff.
Yeah.
He's Puff.
And then he tells me in the ring, like, you know, I got it wrong. He's not that kind of Puff. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well.
Mistakes can be made. But you guys came up short.
And then, oh my God, this was the best because me and him were supposed to be the faces, right? He's like, I don't even smoke weed. And he goes, I'm straight edge. And then it was fucking crickets. He's like, no, guys, I'm just kidding. Like, a little bit. And yeah, I fucking died.
Just
but
like
no,
us, just a little bit.
Puff was awesome. Class fucking act. I really enjoyed it. He does make things fun. So I don't want to spoil too much about it for anybody that gets a chance because it is going to be coming out soon. So keep your eyes out on any form of social media for New Frontier Wrestling because The Odyssey Begins was a really fucking cool show. All kinds of different types of wrestling. Have you seen Travis Moore before?
No, I haven't.
The what in No Ring North?
Yeah,
he's the one who went through the window.
Just about to say, wait, yes, from No Ring North, yes.
Yes, he. The only thing I will spoil is he completely recreated the Sandman's entrance.
Oh, nice.
On DP, complete with his girlfriend in the crowd.
Oh wow, with the pouring.
With the pouring, it was.
We know. Yeah,
it was.
We don't have to do the visual. We can reenact it, you know, if you want. But
well, I know, but I guess we got to verbalize.
I'll be the
too for people
Sandman
on
though,
Spotify
if we're going to do this.
That makes more sense. I have better titties than you do.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not editing that out.
No, that's completely fine. We are live, pal, but we're not live.
Yeah, we're actually coming to you during Raw.
During Raw. So I was able to watch a match this weekend that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was short but sweet, featuring one of our local Windsor boys here, Aiden Prince, against Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yes,
for
Impact Plus.
Yeah, check it out on Impact Plus. If you're not a subscriber, I think they have posted for free to share as part of their digital.
Yeah, and I was wrong about that one. I thought that it was at a Destiny taping because remember when we first talked about it?
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't.
They're doing a Destiny taping coming up.
But I don't know. I mean, fucking, it makes me sound like a fucking mark just because I haven't reached out to Prince in a bit, just asking because I saw he's got his Impact jacket. He's openly taking bookings in the States. So
I flat out asked him, yo, give me a link for your match, like a little pirate, because I'm not paying for Impact Plus, and I would pay for Impact Plus, but there's a lot of
Stuff that's not our friends.
subscriptions. Things that I would want to watch that I could have the time to watch regularly. I have a lot of old TNA shows. But to see that match, yeah, that was just great to see. Like Speedball, GCW, and now in Impact doing it up, and he's an impressive
Well,
talent.
did you see the segment from Destiny when they signed Bailey?
Yeah, with Scott Bohr.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, they did that. Oh, Josh was there too. Yeah,
because it was Josh that said, like, I'm gonna vouch for you.
Yeah,
and then got released. So that's weird the way it works out in storylines. I mean, he's back now, but like the timing, that I'm like, oh.
So that was great to see. Like, again, such a hard impact match for, like, again, a very short and sweet match, but like they just went, and it was great. Yeah, it's great to see.
Oh, I enjoyed it. It's good. I like seeing Princey do big things.
Yeah, it's always a shout out to him. But yeah, other than that, I played this weekend some more WWE 2K22, and played with a friend of ours with the GM mode, and did a little.
Yeah, actually tell me about it, because so I did speak to Goat earlier, and he did tell me it was really fun, but I didn't get too far into it because I was working.
Yeah, so I didn't play the GM mode single player. Mm-hmm. So my first experience was with the human multiplayer mode. So with that, it was cool because we were competing against each other, of course, but there's also things like aside from ratings and signing talent, there's also like cards that and power-ups or debuffs that you can send to the other team so that you can't book your most popular guy this week, things like that. So you know how we like screw each other over in games and everything. So that was a fun aspect that I think is for anyone criticizing the GM mode. I think if you look at it through the lens of that human to human competitive part, it makes more sense why it's simplified and why there's not a lot of more complicated parts. And I think that
you'd be playing forever in Heads Up.
Yeah. And I think exactly. And I think that is not the way a lot of people were looking at the GM mode. They're looking at like a heavy, beefy, never-ending multi-brand universe type thing. But for what it was, you pick your draft pool, and you draft your wrestlers, and you take turns picking them in the draft, of course, and you pick a GM, and the basics of how it works. But also they had things like aside from booking your matches and paying for those and for your wrestlers, you're also paying for your arena, your
sets, venue upgrade,
your production.
On one of the reviews I was reading of it, they're like, don't pick William Regal unless you like running out of school gyms your whole career. And I'm like, wow, that was fucking raw.
Yeah, I think Stephanie McMahon gives like most money bonus. It all depends on how you want to manage things.
The one I started, and I only played like a couple weeks just to be like, oh, let's see how this goes. And I mean, so far I'm on SmackDown as Shane McMahon, losing Stephanie McMahon as Raw. But
yeah, that's what we did. We were Raw. We were Stephanie and Shane playing against each other as Raw and SmackDown. I came out on top in the end, but it was 15 weeks culminating with the WrestleMania. Excuse me. So we
because they say no matter how many weeks you use, it culminates at WrestleMania.
Exactly. Right? So we had all matches and feuds booked for that. One of the things I absolutely loved is when you go into the free agent pool, there's not just some real world free agents, but there's locals. Created wrestlers.
The locals.
Triton was my MVP throughout my GM experience.
See, and I haven't looked that far into it because I just booked 2 cards real quick. But I haven't looked at gotten the deep dive. I did see there's local wrestlers, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Even our friend built an unknown female superstar that was one of the local made up wrestlers, and they have real pictures and everything. So it's really cool to see these different gimmicks and names from these wrestlers that don't exist. But he really
But
built
like
her up
real,
over
like
time
in
her
their pictures of
popularity.
real people,
That's right. Yeah.
like in their gimmicks and everything.
Yeah. Triton was this bigger guy with
It's
a
like
crown and a
Aquaman.
cape and a big beard with gray in the middle
Oh, that
of his
gets me pumped to
beard.
play deeper into it. Now, once I know for the initial draft, like that's one of my complaints was the limited people available in the initial draft. After that, does the rest of the roster open up?
Then they come out through free agents that you can sign. You could sign from a free agent pool, or you
Okay.
can sign from a legends pool on certain amount of dates or weeks that they have it. So like for WrestleMania, you have just 1 week and you can go all out, maybe book a couple of legends for the pay-per-view, things like that, if you have the extra money. So yeah, it's cool just to bring some people in to have a program with them and everything, and to raise popularity and things like that. So yeah, it works out really well, even though you think that you're limited to what you have in the draft. There's a bunch of people to sign. You're not signing too much because you're still limited in matches, and you still want to get everyone on the card, but you do have to rest people. So you do need a pool of guys that can come in and fill in during rivalries, in between rivalries and things like that.
Now you had the obviously you had a bunch of fucking issues with the game.
I had some issues, as some others did. The server issues were worked out. I'm not going to complain about those. They seem to be more stable now, except for some online, I think. But it isn't too bad. But some of my issues that I had were more with the community creations and those breaking universe and other modes afterwards, which is something that people experience on all platforms. So this year it's out on PS4, PS5, the old Xbox, new Xbox, X Series, and PC. And all of them pretty much have the same issue currently as of recording with community creations. If you have too many, especially large arenas in your universe, it will end up crashing that. Very difficult to recover without deleting your save completely. So that's kind of a pain. But yeah, worked through that, deleted the save and start over with my other things. But now it's running okay with the vanilla guys. So in terms of the game itself, I'm very positive on it. It seems like bugs will be worked out, but this one is a big game breaking one, especially for people like me that love to fully customize their universe 100%. You're going to need this bug fix before you can play it.
So I got a message on my phone just now asking about doing something at the show this upcoming week, which for a split second I just thought was distasteful, but since this will be airing on the morning of, I guess it might as well be current. Scott Hall has passed away.
Well, that is some heartbreaking news.
Yeah, so that I just got there's actually like the WWE post and everything out about it. So that's probably happened from the time that you left your place till you got here that it became public.
Yeah. So again, we're live, recording wise.
Yeah.
But it means late breaking news can still come in, and that one is a devastating one. As much as we heard the reports of the bad news from complications of hip surgery, it's still, once of course it actually happens, then it really sets in and everything. And I think it's safe to say that Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, was a big part of anyone from our generation fandom, and it's a big loss to his family and friends and all of us fans, and yeah, just so if we can send our condolences.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Everybody. I mean, the family, and anybody that's ever got the privilege to watch him do what he does. I mean, it's that's a tough one. because I mean he was a big influence. I mean, the NWO obviously being one of the biggest things, and even before that, how
Popularity of Razor Ramon,
yeah,
like
as
especially on I think to the casual fans, like he was one of the first stars that I heard about
mhm,
and knew about, other than maybe the Undertaker, things like that in terms of the character. And he stood out, and he battled his demons, of course, as well, before and during and after his career. But he worked with DDP and others to
mhm.
turn things around, help train his son Cody and get him
Yeah, like I
involved.
I got to meet him like at the like I've met him at the gathering and things like that.
Juggalo.
Yeah, Juggalo. Yeah. Um, I mean, obviously the gathering might not have been the best place.
Best environment for him.
Yeah, I mean it's a crazy environment. But yeah, it's still nice to talk to. There's Reno put a post up earlier today. Jay Reno, friend of ours, but for those who don't know Jay Reno, he's a hip hop artist, well, producer now, but retired hip hop artist. He toured with ICP, got the chance to hang out with Scott Hall, and obviously had nothing but nice things to say, and got a chance for Scott Hall to hear his music and stuff like that. So like even outside of just wrestling, like cool dude overall.
Yeah, he really was. And yeah, my only encounter with him was with Boris City Wrestling a couple times, and when he was there with Cody, with his son Cody, that
Mhm.
just the pride that he seemed to have and everything, and how happy, upbeat he was at that time when we saw him there. It just seemed like, yeah, he really turned things around. And even this was before, I think, even his DP, but at that time he was still um, you know on the up. It's hard to talk about stuff like that with someone who's just passed, where we're not trying to say anything negative, but his demons are well known
Mhm.
in public. And just trying to say that what I experienced was yeah, during one of those high times and everything. But yeah, him and 123 Kid, him and Sean in the ladder match,
Yeah, huge.
all the NWO stuff, the Outsiders. We were just talking last week about him as well. So
He was one of the first really cool bad guys. No, like I
yeah,
mean, obviously, bad guy pun fully intended in this case.
yeah, for sure. And he made his mark without even being a world champion, and
Yeah,
that is still one of the most shocking things. And again, you
but
can put some
it's
of the other side stuff to it,
there's
but
a lot of wrestlers though that only held the Intercontinental Championship, but that's when the Intercontinental Championship was hot. Like when I was a kid, like I didn't even like dream of being like a WWE World Champion when I wanted to be a wrestler as a kid. I wanted to be an Intercontinental
Intercontinental.
Champion.
So I
I
meant you
think
were
like
the worker.
as a kid growing up watching wrestling, I loved the Intercontinental Championship and the ECW Championship.
Well, at the time we had guys like Mr. Perfect, Bret Hart.
Yeah,
We had excuse me,
there was so many
some of the
top
most
tier.
iconic
There were so many top tier
IC
competitors
titles.
that it wasn't a mid card title,
Right.
because the Macho Man wasn't a mid carder.
Roddy Piper.
Ultimate Warrior,
Right.
Bret Hart, like fuck out of here, like. And then obviously, boom, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, like before the world, like before Shawn Michaels' world title run.
Right. And for what he did to make that ladder match, and those ladder matches, we should say, um, so popular, that inspired a new generation to play with their ladders. And they all go back to Shawn Razor Ramon, WrestleMania 10, or at SummerSlam, as like their inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, aside from that, yeah, his character that he had in his partnership with Kevin Nash, Diesel, and of course being involved in one of the most infamous wrestling incidents, we'll say, of all time, with the MSG curtain call, that really changed we're saying that because it really changed the industry, and shook things up, and made his appearance or debut in WCW or invasion in WCW even more potent, I think. But yeah, sad loss. What's a Razor moment that comes to your mind?
Oh, I mean, like there's so many. I mean, the biggest one for me is always going to be that moment he hopped the barricade in WCW. That's going to be that was one of the few times in life where I was like, is pro wrestling real? Like, is this real life right now? Like, what's going on here?
Because he was just on WWF programming, like within like the month before or something like that. So yeah, it was very shocking to see him. He wasn't on the WrestleMania 12 first, but like he had his feud with 1-2-3 Kid. I don't think he did much after that, and I don't know if it was just contract stuff, or we know he had issues with his feud with Goldust, things like that, and there was obviously tension in the backstage. But it would have been interesting to see what he would have done if he would have stayed in the
I
WWE.
liked his, and the thing is, I know I liked his feud with Goldust, and I feel like that's a feud that if it would have happened 20 years later, like in modern times, would have been a lot more over, because it was that, like, you know,
if Razor would have learned a lesson at the end, yeah.
yeah, dude, but like it was, they'd be,
yeah,
there'd be the perfect characters for it. No,
yeah,
he's just to play the uncomfortableness and all that, because you know,
then he learns
the
and
macho guy.
And yeah, could have been a good thing. Yeah, could have been a very positive thing.
Well, you know, it's 2022 wrestling, so they probably just shake hands.
25 years ago, of course. Social climate has changed since then, of course.
But
especially with
the
professional
ever-changing social
wrestling.
climate.
And professional wrestling, I think, usually leads the way to in those forms. I think that you see social trends in pro wrestling before they hit the mainstream, and that's why I always say pro wrestling is life.
Well, there are other times that we see them try to replicate current trends, and it's the other way around, and it just comes off terrible.
Depends.
As an overly played out effort.
Right to Censor was not just a good satire on that, but it was also a direct response to the Parents' Council, and that was a very well done one for sure, I would say, by WWE. But yeah,
that's fair. That Right to Censor was super good. I couldn't complain about that.
When we heard her theme song, that theme song again at the Royal Rumble,
I was instantly
one of the greatest moments.
I was instantly annoyed, but in the best way possible. Instantly fucking annoyed.
That was fantastic. Yeah, so seeing Ivory in the Rumble this year, we're talking about with the right to censor music, just great to see. But yeah, message from Kevin Nash today. It's very heartfelt about Scott Hall, and obviously someone who spent most of his career, most of his life with the man and everything. So, and then again, just so many, like even you mentioned JCW, the Juggalo community, how much they embraced him and everything. He was someone who seemed like just wanted to be around people, and he had that personality, the joking personality.
100%.
Zach Allen posted a picture today with him in a group photo with him standing on his toes and showing the secret of looking tall, but didn't realize his feet were being photographed as well, and he's towered over the group. And it was just great to see with a big smile on his face, toothpick in his mouth.
Yeah. There'll never be another one quite like him. That's for sure.
I won't look at the camera.
Yeah, that's drug abuse. But
and what about even the Razor's Edge? Okay, let's who do you think had the best variation, or who do you think carried on the Razor's Edge the best after him?
Oh shit, I don't know. That's tough.
That was such an iconic move,
because a lot of people have replicated that one. Whether it's a slightly different version of it, like doesn't Hernandez do the border toss, which is similar to it?
The spin.
And then Sheamus did it. Did he not?
Yep. He had a name for it that I'm not thinking of at the moment.
It's not the Celtic Cross, is it?
I don't know if that's the Celtic Cross.
No, I don't think it is. He's got a few moves. He's got
He does have a few moves.
He's got White Noise, the Brogue Kick, Celtic Cross. Yeah, it goes on for Sheamus.
Yeah, the Kryptonite Crunch one. What's that one?
That's White Noise.
Okay, that's White Noise. All right.
And now he's got, what is it? Butch. Yeah, Butch. Fuck.
You know, it's not even the name, okay? Because they call him Butch backstage as a nickname. It's not even the name. It's the
did
look.
They already call him that?
Yeah, it's a personal nickname backstage. And you know, I think that overall it was the look that made it bad. It was the combination of that name with the way that he was dressed and everything just made it all really bad.
Yeah, but what if he would have came out in his regular ass gear that he already has and said fucking Butch on the side? I'd have been like, get the fuck out of here.
Even if he would have done it with Sheamus without Ridge Holland, because now he just seems like a third wheel. Where if he came up and started just partnering with Sheamus, I would have bought the two of them as, you know, two Irish badass fighters.
Except he's British.
But
I know. Yokozuna's not.
Regardless,
I get it.
They're United Kingdom people from there. So my point being is that
those people.
You have two guys that like to fight in pubs. That's the important part of it. And we know that both of them are badasses. We don't know Ridge Holland as much in terms of his character at the time. He's still being developed. And I feel like that's lowering Pete as being a third wheel, Butch, and made his debut not only less impactful, but made him look like
Butch.
Yeah, the way we're making fun of him.
He's like came into this frame. He just came into the frame,
just staring like.
Yeah. For those of you that are on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, you know, all that good stuff, great time to plug it. He's very creepily staring. Exactly how Butch
trying not to stare
was staring.
But yeah, I think that he's salvageable. He's still salvageable. We'll see how this goes with this pairing, but he's Pete Dunne or he's Butch Dunne or whatever, but he's talented.
Butch Peterton.
He's too talented to not
Butch Peterton
to fail.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be good in the ring no matter like what he does. I mean, that's always, you can't take that away from him. I mean, well, you can, because they do, you know, if they make you wrestle a certain style, they tell you to slow down or whatever the case is. But I hope they don't do that, because Pete Dunne's actually one of my favorite young wrestlers, and I really fucking enjoy watching him. So even though I don't like the name Butch, I'm happy to see him on the main roster, and I'll be rooting for Peter Dunne on the inside.
Pretty sure he's right around our age, for the record.
No, he's younger. He's younger than us. Do we have to Google this? Grab your phone. Let's Google this. I want to know. No, Google it.
You carry on. You say something entertaining. Plug some stuff.
Well, okay. I'll plug some stuff. So, yeah, this Sunday, it's on March 20th at the Hamilton Convention Center. I will be in a Unlucky 7 hardcore scramble match featuring the one and only Mad Man Pondo. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. There's 6 people that I'm looking forward to beating the shit out of. It's going to be a good fucking time. That Kyle's in the match, so you know I'm going to tan that motherfucker's ass
if he shows up.
He showed up in Toronto in Etobicoke.
Oh,
even though he wasn't there as my partner.
Want to be your partner.
He showed up. He cut a promo on me about being a deadbeat, and then he ran into Puff, and because he was making fun of us for losing, and he ran into Puff, and Puff sent him right back to Daddy, and he ate a hydro driver. Booyaka shot, Kyle, got you again, bitch.
When was the last time you sent him a birthday card?
When
was the last time you sent him a birthday card?
I think it was the birthday before never.
And then he's justified for the beating that he will give you as a deadbeat dad.
That's never gonna happen. He's not gonna beat me ever. That's just not a thing.
So I was right. Pete Dunne is our age, or at least my age. He's 28.
I told you, motherfucker.
Just like me.
He's almost a fucking
Pete is a little bit older.
Fuck you. We're the exact same age. He's almost a decade fucking younger than us.
But yeah, he has a bright future. We'll say that. Especially if he does end up somehow against Cody or something like that. That would be good.
Yeah, that sounds great. Butch, that's a headline match.
Cody and Butch. That's main event marquee.
Is that the dog at the door?
No, I don't think it's the dog at the door.
I thought I heard dogs.
You're providing riveting material. Is this a skit we're doing? Is that the dog at the door?
No, I was.
Oh, there's a dog at the door.
No.
Hello there. I want Cody Rhodes. I love Cody Rhodes.
Oh no,
I'm Snow or whatever his dog's name is.
I almost feel like you're doing the Simpsons skit when fucking Homer walks in and he's like, so I got some new ideas when he's doing the dog character.
Poochie?
Yeah. So like whenever like Poochie's not around, people should be like, like where's Pooch? Where's Cody?
We could use a Poochie. We could use a Poochie here.
That'd be good. Actually, who's Poochie? Team Taz. Whenever they're not around, I'm like, what's going on with Team Taz?
I was just twittering about Team Taz and asking about Team Taz on the Twitter machine.
I tried to on Instagram, but there's no question feature. So someone needs to ask Mark Zuckerberg why we can't ask about Team Taz on Instagram. Not that you Instagram. We already made that quite clear.
No. I don't do much of the interwebs.
Yeah.
And I tried to Tumblr someone and that didn't go so well.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's usually people just vlogging their deepest secrets and pornographical memes. So yeah, I can understand why that wouldn't go so well. You can't snap a like there.
I do have the Tout app though. Do you ever Tout?
No, I have no idea what the fuck that is.
The WWE uses Tout.
Oh god, no, now I remember what that is, and I'm not a fan.
I'm 28 years old.
Not a fan. So I mean, we are only at the time of recording, we're only 39 minutes into Raw. Obviously, we haven't gotten Cody. Do you think we're gonna get Cody tonight because of the Florida? We'll make our prediction.
If he is signing with them, then yeah, I think it has to be tonight in order to have enough time to build towards something for Mania.
So if you wake up in the morning, you hear this podcast, and Cody Rhodes is not on the roster, he ain't going to WrestleMania.
Oh, did you see when Cody Rhodes beat another Simpsons thing?
Oh no, I didn't catch that one.
They would guess the winner of the Super Bowl.
Oh,
when the Denver Broncos would face the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, I got you. Now I understand. But yeah, it's got to be tonight. Last night.
Yeah,
it has to be, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. It's not going to mean anything without any build, and he'll end up on the next time we do shittiest WrestleMania builds.
That's right.
Which you've already said most matches for WrestleMania this year are going to be on that.
There was a Cody match that was going to go on that. I'm not going to talk about it now because I'm forgetting the details. But there was a Cody build I was going to mention on my list, but he just got knocked out.
Just narrowly missed the list.
Yeah. So good for you, Cody. You weren't that terrible.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this week. We'll call it a day. Hopefully Raw goes out like a banger, because they need it going into WrestleMania season.
They really do.
If anything good happens, we'll chat about it a little bit next week. But until next time, it's Chris Holler, and I'm PD Skillz, and this isn't goodbye. Until next time, it's hey yo.
Rest in peace.